Okay, so here we have a pretty severely gapped edge, and you can see it has a lot of delamination. And there's a couple possibilities. One, we could cut off all the bad stuff, seam in a new piece, and then we have a contrast. But this is pretty loose carpet, so we always make a judgment call. And when it's this flexy, I'm pretty sure that I can move this gap. But the problem is we still have a pretty delaminated base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut most of this fray off, put a piece of seaming tape against it to give it some strength. And we also have all of our nails. Well, they did something interesting here. Because it was coming through, they nailed on a little piece of shim to cover up the tack strip. So another good reason to have that seaming tape, it'll give it some thickness so the nails won't go through. So let's do that, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this was first the trimming, and you can see that I've cut this bad backing off, but now we see that how thin this stuff is. So it needs some kind of a support. Relaminating the backing has been done in times past, but on an edge, it's easier to just use the backing that's on the seaming tape, because that actually is backing there. If you pull down the paper, you see a knitting. So that'll work as the backing. It'll add the thickness that I need so the nails don't come through, and the flexiness of this carpet should give me enough strength to pull it. So let's do that next step. Okay, so I'm just basically, unlike normal seaming where you split it in half at the red line, I can use the whole piece. So I'm just gonna add that seaming tape on. Now I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna basically cut the seaming tape so that it mirrors the edge of the carpet. It doesn't really look good if I just get the seaming tape up there, so I really don't want it there. If I do need to add a piece, I'd glue it straight down into the concrete gap, not on the seaming tape. So because it'll hold down better. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so after I trim off the rest seaming tape so it's flush with the edge, this is what we're left with. We have a nice strong backing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some of the seam sealer. It's latex, so it actually works as an adhesive as well. And I'm going to put it in this gap here, and then I'm going to power strap it. So let's do that. Okay, so there's the latex. Now it's water-based, so it actually cleans off pretty well, but usually the way you tuck, it goes that way because you move it that way. So it gets on the wood, but then you just wipe it with a paper towel. All right, let's do that. Okay, so generally I put my hand there and push it to grab it into the tack strip, but when we're just barely getting at the edge, I actually will tuck it before I release it. In this area, it's a little bigger. We can see how it's gathered there at the corner, so I'll have to do a little cut and a little easing on that. But I had a nice long wall with a very flexible carpet, in other words, worn down. So I didn't really have an issue with making it go that length, so I didn't have to do that repair. That would have been more noticeable. Let's finish it up. Okay, so here we are with the finished job. You can see that the carpet's going in there really nice. We don't have any puff at the edge, and we have it reattached on the side. So all's good, nice end result. There were a lot of things we had to worry about, but they've all been taken care of. So there are a lot of ways to do a repair, and calling in a carpet repairman that can kind of figure out what's the best for your situation usually works well. All right, this has been John Hilbrands. I hope you like this video. Thanks, bye-bye.